Yes, Massive and crew, back once again with another video, and today I'm going to give you my top list of items you need if you want to start your own home recording studio. Item number 1, computer. With your computer you're going to need something that's quite high spec, Mac or PC, it's up to you what you prefer. I use a Mac. You want something like i5, i7, something with a bit of power you can use with a good graphics card. Nowadays most computers will do just fine. Item number 2 is your DAW, D-A-W, Digital Workstation. Now, Digital Workstation is a bit of software that you use to create your beats on, i.e. Ableton Live, Cubase, Renoise, Logic Pro, GarageBand, ProSonus, Pro Tools, whatever you find easy to use. There's lots of different ones out there. To get started, I would recommend any one of the first 3 ones like Cubase, Logic or Reason, Renoise. Check them all out, see which one you can get your head around easiest, look at some tutorials online and see which one suits you fine. Item number 3, audio interface. Now your audio interface is the key piece of equipment in your studio. This is where you're going to get your sound from, the quality. It doesn't really matter too much on sort of how high end you go, because at this moment in time it's just about you getting into things. So keep the budget fairly cheap just to get you started, and then maybe later on considering upgrading. My recommendations are, for example, RME UCX interface. I've also got an Apollo quad which I use, and I started out on an M Audio Profile 610, which is lower end of the budget. Any one of those sound cards will work fine. It just depends on your budget and what you want to spend and how serious you are about getting into it. Like I said, for starters, I wouldn't go too pricey to begin with, just in case you decide that it's not for you. Item number 4 is your microphones. Now you're going to need a microphone if you want to record vocals. If you don't intend on recording vocals or anything like that, then you don't really need it. But as I said, you want to get yourself a good condenser microphone. There are some condenser microphones that you could spend hundreds of pounds on, or there are also cheaper ones that are dedicated for vocals, like this simple little thing here, which will set you back about £50 or whatever the case may be. Item number 5 is your headphones. Now this is a very important piece of kit. You want to invest something decent. You don't want to use any old crap headphones, unless, like again, you just want to experiment, mess about. I wouldn't recommend going for anything too cheap, as this is going to be practically what you're going to be mixing on when you first get started. And also, if you're working late at night, you want to be able to hear the music in a decent sort of monitoring state, so that you can actually do your mixes on the headphones if required. Another booster to that, I would recommend getting yourself something like a Bayer Dynamic DT990 Pro, which you can get on DV247. And if you wanted to get real deep, I would recommend getting yourself one of these sub packs, which is a bass vest that you wear on your back, and it gives you a genuine bass response. So it's like, if you imagine a silent disco, you put your headphones on and you put the bass on your back, and nobody else will be able to hear the music loud but you. And these are really good because they sound like a club sort of punch. It gives a club punch to your music, and it will help you to define your bass when you're writing. But again, I don't recommend that as like something that you definitely need as an essential, even though for myself, as a professional producer, I use it as a tool, which is something that I need almost every day now. It's one of my go-to things for when I'm mixing bass. But again, if your budget will allow, I do recommend getting one of those. Item number 6 is studio monitors. Now again, this is another key piece of equipment that you need for mixing and making your music sound nice when you're actually working on your final mix. To begin with, I would recommend using a set of speakers that you're used to and you know the sound of music on. That way you can kind of get a reference of how music should sound, and then progress on to something like Tannoy Reveals, KRK Rocket 5s, or if you want to splash out and go for something a little bit bigger, this is the 8-inch woofer, you could use KRK Rocket 8s. Item number 7. Cables. Now cables, you're going to need the right set of cables to connect up your speakers, connect your speakers to your sound card, connect your computer to your audio interface. I've done a video on how to do that here, so check that out. And also I'll put a link in the description to where you can buy all your cables and get help with any kind of leads that you need for your studio wiring needs. Cables mentioned, USB cables, MIDI leads, audio jack to jacks, XLR to jack, many different leads. Item number 8, microphone stands. Again, if you're going to be recording vocals, you're going to need microphone stands. I'll put a link in the description where you can get some of those. I've actually got one here that just sort of sits on my desktop, which is very, very useful. But that's just me. I'm not a huge vocal recorder, but maybe you will be. Item number 9, a pop filter. Every microphone needs a pop filter, which you're going to put on the top of your microphone, and that stops the sound from every time you say a P. This filters the P. Item number 10, a mic preamp. There's many mic preamps out there that you could get by Focusrite, one of those companies. Again, not an essential, but if you're going to get into professional vocal recording, that's something you might want to use. Item number 11, music keyboard stroke MIDI controller. This is a very important piece of kit because you're going to be playing all the instruments on it, and it's a good idea to get one that's got sort of controllers on it, so when you want to get advanced, you can twiddle some of the buttons, etc. There's many to choose from. I use this one, which is a complete control S49 with 49 keys. You've got 49 key ones, and you've also got 25 key ones, which are a little bit smaller. Depending on your workspace and what you're into, I think the Akai Advance is a great choice for someone who wants to get started. When you want to upgrade, go for something like the Complete Control S49. Look out for my next video where I show you about treating your room and studio acoustics. If you found this video useful, please like, share and subscribe, and remember to turn on the notification button so that you can get regular updates from myself. Take care, God bless, peace.